Adam Sandler is here. Josh Safdie is here. They have a new comedy special on Netflix, the home of Adam Sandler. You're basically like Jason Tatum with the Celtics with Netflix now. You're just like lifelong. They retire your number in the Netflix Hall of Fame.
If he's Tatum, who's Brown? Because I think he's the MVP of the finals.
No. Yeah, don't try to divide the team. I see what you're doing. Billy saw what you were doing. You were trying to get them to one up each other. They love each other.
I'm just saying there's MVP.
When I'm playing basketball, like I did yesterday, alone, sadly.
But I told you I would have played with you.
Yeah, I didn't want you there. Not yet. Not your giant elbows. But when I'm playing pickup basketball and I win because my teammate is incredible every time, I'm excited. I drive home just as excited.
That's right.
Tatum felt the same. He loved his buddy scoring. The reason his buddy was scoring a lot, everyone was scared of Tatum. I
love Tatum. He's one of the top five.
One of the coolest, greatest dudes and hardest work.
Yeah. Oh my God. Work and his relationship with his son makes me cry every single time.
Yes.
He was, when we showed Gems to the Celtics in Boston, KG organized a screening. Mm-hmm. He was one of the few players who showed up.
Yeah, he was
like
youngster.
Youngster.
Yeah. I remember meeting Tatum. Also, Shaq had a restaurant he was opening up around the Staples Center back then. And so we went to Shaq's opening, and Tatum was there. And he was a rookie, and he was very nice. And I remember just going, this is just a stud. What amazing. A cool basketball.
Is that restaurant still open?
I'm not sure. I know,
is it called Shaq's?
No, it wasn't called Shaq's.
Shake Shack?
No. It was good though. It had good food. I ate a lot that night. It was like midnight when I went.
I mean, Shaq's restaurant is definitely gonna have good food.
Well, did you notice what Josh did at the start of this? He immediately tried to bring Celtics dissension into the podcast. I know what you're doing. You're all excited about the Knicks season coming.
Really?
I mean, look, I know what you're doing. Listen, the Celtics are dependable, and some maybe not that exciting. I mean, they're great basketball players.
Yes.
But it's not like the Knicks. It's not like the mecca of basketball, or a dysfunctional franchise that's now all of a sudden incredibly solid and with a great core of players and potentially the greatest point guard in the Eastern Conference.
Wow.
Billy, who's a better point guard in the Eastern Conference? Don't say Donovan Mitchell.
Don't disrespect Donovan.
I love Donovan Mitchell. I'm just saying
he's not really a point guard.
Jalen Brunson is amazing.
He controls the ball though. But yeah, tell me who's a greater point guard in the East.
The Knicks fans are hilarious to me because they haven't won a title in 51 years.
We got the Atlantic Division in 2012. So
haven't made the finals in 25 years. You made round 2 once, and the chests are out and puffed, talking shit. Like shitting on the Celtics title. It's just hilarious.
I don't shit on the title. I was rooting for the Celtics.
You kind of shit on the title. You said the Celtics were boring.
No. I didn't say they were boring. I didn't say they were boring. I love the team. Drew Holiday has been one of my favorite players in the NBA since he came in. I love his style of play. Yeah. I love White's style of play. I love Tatum's style of play. I like everyone's individual style of play. But they're so good. They're such a toned machine. And fine-tuned and perfect. Who wants perfect? But Bill Simmons wants perfect. That's for sure.
Listen. You have to grapple with some Knicks stuff that's coming, which is you have too many guys now, not enough minutes. And Randall wasn't in the playoffs last year. There's going to be some ego stuff. Like Adam figured this out with grown-ups and grown-ups too. Like you need the hierarchy. You need role players. You can't have somebody who's like the 7th guy in the movie who thinks he should be in more scenes. You figured it out.
Thank you, Billy, for noticing. And in those moments, what you do is you just bring those fellow superstars who don't have as much to do in for a week rather than a whole movie. Because if they're there the whole season, there's going to be some snapping going on. Get me.
So that's your strategy? So you're like, hey, Chris Rock, just come for 10 days?
I say, well, Chris Rock can stay as long as he wants, but anybody who's a hit and run, Spade, I give him 7 days maximum. I say, you got to go, bro. You're starting to lose it on me. By the way, Spade can lose it by the end of a shoot because his body, he doesn't love shooting too long. He starts going well, what time are we finishing today and stuff like that. He gets a little.
Spade came to one of the performances for Love You. And everyone had their phone locked in those special cases. Somehow Spade snuck his phone in there.
Oh my God, Bill. I looked out in the crowd, my comedy special, all the years of being best buddies with David, and he's on his phone in the middle of a joke. So I just go, what? I stopped and yelled at him. And then he goes, I was just writing down something I liked. So when he sees my shit when we're on the road together, he writes down stuff.
Oh, he's a note taker?
Or he writes like a button he came up with for me. But it looks like he's texting his mother, so I start yelling at him.
So did he 2 phones it? Because the only way to really get the phone in there is to have the second phone.
I think he snuck in. I don't think he.
I think security just allows David to. No one wants. He's so awkwardly weird that they just go. Just let him through, man. He's making such a moment out of us asking for his phone.
Wait, I want to talk about filming movies and movie sets and being on there for a long time, because I don't know if I've ever talked about that with anyone on the pod. So you're doing Uncut Gems. How many days filming on the set is that?
That was considered a short shoot. It was like a 160-page script, and we did it in 31 days.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, so that's better because you're like in and out.
Now I have to eat crow because I did it so quickly. Now everyone's like, you expects me to do everything so quickly, and that's like
the Clint Eastwood style where you're just like one shot Clint, just banging it out.
Well, we didn't do one shot for the "This Is How I Win" scene with KG. There's basically. We had to do 12 pages in one day, which was very unusual.
Oh, that's right.
Remember, we had it's lunch now. We have an hour to get that whole scene. And it was like, what? We had an hour to get the most important scene in the movie done?
Yeah.
Well, so KG's on the set, huge personality, super famous, and is on the set for multiple days. So, what is he doing when nothing's happening?
We had a basketball court set up on the stage.
He didn't take one shot.
No, he went during lunch. And, KG sweats thinking. He's a big sweater, and everyone heard that KG's shooting on the hoop, and we were shit, and everyone an exodus from the set went like moths to a flame to the set, the hoop that we had set up, and we get in there and he's with some of the guys who were extras in that scene. Not really extras. They were kind of
jewelers. The jewelers.
Well, no, they were actually Lenny Cook's best friends growing up.
Oh yeah.
And they were all and they all played ball. So they were all, but they haven't played ball now. They're at the time they were in their late 30s. So it was totally they were retired from recreational ball. We showed up and he was fully drenched in sweat in his costume. So we had to do a change and do that. But no, when KG was off, he was just telling some of the most amazing NBA story.
Yes.
Hearing it from his mouth, some of the stuff that I wouldn't repeat, but just amazing inner circle NBA stories that you as a Celtic fan were probably really excited to hear, but I'm not going to share.
So as basketball fans, are you just trying to start shit with him and be like, yo, honestly, who was better, you or Duncan? And just try to throw him monkey wrenches. That's all I would do if I was on the set with KG.
Did you do that?
Never said anything that make him feel an ounce more than happy. I loved KG, and I didn't bring Duncan up one time. I don't think.
Because I think he's getting mad as his career as the years have passed.
Yeah,
I think he's mentioned a couple times that Duncan was in a better situation. And it's he's kind of right. KG was buried on those Minnesota teams for years, doing with no chance to win.
I brought up Melo. I did. I brought up the Melo confrontation, and I brought up I brought up that, and I kind of brought up the Heat. He'll talk about anything, you know what I mean. And what's great about KG is he has respect for players who So he doesn't talk shit. He's just a straight shooter. But the Melo Amari thing was really funny because he just looks at me. He's like, this guy's like you think. This guy's like a demented Knicks fan. He thinks they can do no wrong. He looked at me like I had I was like a 7-year-old asking for an autograph. It was, even though at that point I had become friendly, and now I'll text him after. He's a huge Knicks fan now. You see what he says on his show?
What do you mean? Why is he a Knicks fan? He was never on the Knicks.
Because he's smart.
It's a good career move?
It is a big market. New York is a big market.
I think the player podcast era of these ex-players, which has now turned into pro wrestling, is fascinating. I was trying to think of like if this happened with acting, because the players are coming in now and they're just saying crazy shit like the 2004 Pistons were the best team of all time. Like making these and then you see these clips, you're like, wait, what's going on? But I always thought it'd be funny if like this happened with comedians or actors, where you just had like comedians just claiming some B-level comedian was the greatest stand-up who ever lived, and then the videos would get shot out. And I don't know. On the one hand, I really like hearing the perspective of the ex-players, but on the other hand, you have to color it through this crazy lens of whatever agendas they have.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have basketball courts wherever you are, Adam, when you're shooting these movies?
Yes. Or something nearby. Like I'll the location scout will go around. Like I'll hear.
You use a location scout for that?
He literally, like, we have scouts, men or women, running around getting the movie sets all set up, and then I'll get a text 6 minutes from a good court. 11 minutes from a good court. Hey, Schneider. All right, we're going to it, Bill.
With Bill?
Yeah.
Is he dressed like Elvis?
Yeah, that's Bill. Bill Schneider.
What's up, Schneider?
All right, brother.
Wait, so how many years do you have left? Because you're hitting your late 50s. You're in the torn MCL meniscus stage of basketball.
Bill, that's a good question. I think I'm going to keep going, but you know what happened? I'm making a movie in England, and I walk out on the court.
Yeah.
London, cool place we found. I forgot the name of the park, and right when I went on the court, I said, I don't think there was some good players, but there were a couple of guys I was like, they don't play basketball. This is going to go bad.
Right.
Immediately, boom, guy bangs into my thumb. I felt something. And it's been like 4.5 months. I tore the ligaments in my thumb, and it won't come back. I can't bend it a certain way.
It's like Stanley in The Hustle.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I've started going, man, maybe I got to stop playing hoop because it hurts so bad when I shoot. But I played yesterday alone.
This is your way of saying this is why I can beat you one-on-one. Oh, my hand hurts.
If I lose, I have the hand.
It's a good excuse. Yeah. The thumb's never healed.
Pre-hand, I would destroy you.
When you get older with pickup, two things happen. One, you mentioned earlier, you're totally fine not being the best player, not having a lot of big plays on the team that stays on the court. That's like late 30s where you're like, you know what? Yeah. I'm going to be on this guy's team and I'll just run up and down. I could guard people. Maybe I'll hit one shot. Then the other one, you develop this sixth sense for, you go out and you kind of can tell who the guy is to watch out for on the other team. Like that guy can hurt me. That guy looks like he'll jump over my back, or I might get hit by an elbow by him. But you don't have that when you're in your early 20s. It develops later, right?
100%. And you know what? That's why when I play, I'm so handsy.
Yeah.
And so elbowy, because I'm always trying to keep distance from these guys. They're so big and strong and they're fast that I'm just like, okay, I know you're not only going to beat me, you're going to hurt me badly. So I'm always pushing them away. Everybody I guard looks at me like, will you stop touching me, man? They hate me,
did we ever do the celebrity basketball pantheon of people you've played with? Because you've played with everybody.
Played with so many great NBA guys.
NBA guys don't count. It has to be actors.
But no, I played with some great.
Woody's really good, right?
He's great. Yeah. There's a lot of greats. I can't say. You know who was the most exciting, fun moment? Playing with the professor. The professor was fun.
Oh, really?
What a nice
Where
guy.
did you do that?
During Hustle. We had a few minutes. We hung out and played, and then he
the
just
professor? Who's the professor?
The professor. He played with the and-one guys. And he does all these cool passes and dominates everybody in one-on-one on the internet. You should watch his stuff. It's the best. And he gives you some tricks that you
KG
can use.
was, speaking of and-one, KG was one of the few pro athletes sponsored by and-one.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was. Mark Jackson too, but that's because his brother was Escalade.
Right, exactly.
So was there was there like a Clooney kind of, you guys kind of measuring each other up? Because he's like the big, I play pickup basket. He's kind of on your corner.
Yes. I just did a movie with Clooney. We didn't play. We didn't go back.
He can play?
Yes, he's got a great shot, and he's like, you know what he is?
He's a real jump shot.
He's got a good looking elbow in, perfect shot, and then he's an athlete. He does not stop moving. He's in great shape, Clooney. Good Lord, he's in good shape. So no, but we never played against each other.
Which comedians are good at ball?
A lot of good ones. By the way, when I was in England, I would show up to this game and they were like, "We're all comedians," and I would jump in and everybody knew how to hoop pretty good.
I got a phone call from England. Adam Sandler's over here right now. He's just playing basketball.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me, and I said because I don't want to.
He's a Beatle? This was a Beatle?
Beatle call.
It's Ringo Starr.
Playing over here.
Ringo was following me around in England going, hey, now he's...
Ringo's the only Beatle not independently as a solo artist in the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He will be.
Yeah, at some point.
Yeah.
So, Josh, after you worked with KG, were other NBA players trying to get into movies with you?
I'm doing something now that's there's a Globetrotters.
Oh wow!
A 1952 Globetrotter, and Globetrotters in '52. That's all the greatest all the greatest basketball players existed. Yeah. There were no NBA players, black NBA players, really, back then. And then Bill Russell went, and Wilt Chamberlain. They all toured. Wilt Chamberlain most famously. Wilt
did it for a year.
Yeah, Wilt did it for a year. Yeah.
Did you see them growing up, the Globetrotters?
I did. Well, we're somewhat close to the same age. When they were on the Wide World of Sports, it was like the single most exciting thing that could happen.
Best. Meadowlark was just, he was as cool. Meadowlark was the first Rodney Dangerfield to me.
Was Goose still on the? No, he wasn't.
Curly Meadowlark.
Curly Meadowlark.
1970.
Curly was still on.
Marcus Haynes.
Marcus Haynes was still there?
No,
They say Marcus Haynes was the greatest ball handler of all time. Jason Williams said that.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, he said that like him and Kyrie are like the greatest, ball handlers of all time.
That makes sense.
Amazing to think that guy was doing it in the 40s. And you watch footage of him, and you're like, "Wow, it's pretty contemporary and sick."
Yeah, they would sell out the Boston Garden.
Oh yeah, man! I could see you getting confetti thrown on you and being tripped.
Oh, no question. I would have loved it. Well, I remember when they were on Gilligan's Island. That was like a transformative
Yeah, man.
They were on Gilligan's Island. That's
I
see that episode. I think I saw every
And then
episode.
they had the animation.
I remember
they were on Scooby Doo, I think.
Yeah, they definitely were on Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Wide World of Sports, it was Evel Knievel, Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
The Globetrotters were kind of like the big three. And that was it.
That was big, yes.
This was before your time, Josh.
Yeah, this is before my time. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Globetrotters still sell out. They have a really diverse group of people on the team now too, who can do a lot of different things. It's more of a show. Like back then, the Globetrotters would tour America, and the best local players would go up against them, and they would sweep the floor with whoever they were playing.
Right.
And they would put up people in the NBA. The best players from the All-Stars from the NBA would go up against them, and they would have no shot.
I didn't know really, when I was working on my book, I really didn't know what to do with the first 10 years of the league, because it was just basically all the white dudes.
Yeah.
There were barely any black players in the league. I think there were one black player per team was the rule.
I think like the thing that everyone says now, like all like the people on the internet or on Twitter and stuff are like plumbers and accountants. Like that's all it was.
Well, when you go pre-shot clock, because the shot clock came in for the 54-55 season. So Mikan was dominating. Mikan was like the first center. Yeah, when the shot clock came in, Mikan was done because they started like running up and down, and that was it for like the big clumsy centers.
Yeah, he would play against. He was like the one person the Globetrotters were kind of scared of. Globetrotters weren't even from New York, from Chicago.
Oh wow!
And there was a Harlem team. I forgot the name of the team that was also they had a squad, and they were better.
Wow!
And they were kind of like, who the fuck are these guys? Claiming Harlem Globetrotters.
Dude, pre-shot clock. I saw a game one time when I grew up in the 40s.
Yeah,
and it was the best game I've ever saw, and the Knicks won 4-0. It's a good game.